go.
Thanks, Danny. So good morning. We're going to talk through some new product releases and how they're licensed. I'll be talking through some changes Microsoft are making with regards to their open license program and some price changes as well. Then I'll talk around some offers we've got in market along with Microsoft to help reduce costs of adopting Microsoft cloud services. Fabian will then take us through some changes Microsoft are making to software assurance and the benefits of retirement. And I'll finish off talking through some of our workshops, and then we'll move on to the final Q&A session at the end. So product updates, Fabian, if you can take over on this one.
Yeah. Good morning. So first we take a look at the future of Microsoft Productivity Server. So Microsoft have announced that the Exchange, SharePoint, Skype for Business and Project Server will be available in the second half of 2021 and they'll only be available as subscription licenses. So there won't be any perpetual licenses for these. Microsoft will share additional details around official names, pricing and availability of these at a later date. And there's an announcement that you can see here. There'll be a clickable link on the slides when you get them. And we also see a new version of Office released later this year for Office LTSC and also for Office 2021 for small businesses and consumers. A commercial preview has been available since April for the LTSC version. And with the new release of Office, Microsoft has advised that the price of the Office LTSC version will increase by 10% and that it will be supported for 5 years. Microsoft has also committed to release further feed versions of Office in the future. And then on the next slide, we see that there's been some name changes that Microsoft are bringing to what was the Advanced Threat Protection Suite of products. So Microsoft is changing the ATP suite to Microsoft Defender, and they're also evolving their Azure Security Center suite to become Azure Defender. So with the Microsoft 365 Defender suite, which prevents, detects, responds to threats across identity, endpoints, cloud apps, emails and documents to end-user environments, we have Microsoft Defender for Endpoints, which was previously Microsoft or Windows Defender for ATP. That will help us protect client devices. We also have Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which was previously named Office 365 ATP, and that's to help protect emails, cloud apps and documents. And then we also have Microsoft Defender for Identity, which was previously Azure ATP, and that's to protect identities. And then for Azure Defender, so that's to protect multi-cloud and hybrid workloads, including virtual machines, database, containers, and IoT. We have Azure Defender for Servers, which was previously Azure Security Center Standard Edition. We have Azure Defender for IoT, which was previously called Azure Security Center for IoT, and Azure Defender for SQL, which was previously Advanced Threat Protection for SQL. And then on the next slide, we also have a license check for Advanced eDiscovery that Microsoft brought in April. So to use the Advanced eDiscovery features, users need to be licensed with either Advanced eDiscovery and Audit license, with Microsoft 365 E5 compliance, Office 365 E5, or Microsoft 365 E5 suite. But without a single Advanced compliance or E5 suite, the administrators and end users will no longer be able to create cases. However, they'll be able to continue to create cases created prior to April 16, so one to look out for. And Microsoft has also released a new Power BI Premium per user licensing option. So that brings the premium features of Power BI licensed on a per user basis instead of the usual per node option. So every user accessing or creating a dashboard with that new option with premium features would need to be licensed with the premium per user license. And then for customers licensed with Office 365 E5, Microsoft 365 E5, we also have the option of a Power BI Premium per user add-on to add the premium features to the Power BI Pro features. And then we also see changes to the Microsoft 365 E5 compliance suite. That was first introduced back in February 2019, and it has since received additional value. We've seen licensing changes, and with all the value that we have with Microsoft 365 E5 compliance, we see an increase in the price. But what we also see is new optional add-ons available to customers. So on the next slide, often what we see is customers have complex requirements. They want flexibility in purchasing features based on what they need to consume. So what Microsoft has done to help those customers is to release several add-ons which have been available since February the 1st. So we have different of add-ons available. We have the Premium Compliance Assessment add-on, which brings additional out-of-the-box assessments, and that's priced at £2,500 per assessment per month. And then prerequisite to that is to have any M365 or Office 365 E5 plan. We also have a 10-year audit log retention to advanced audits, and that increases the 1-year audit currently included with E5. That is licensed per user per month, and the prerequisite to that is to have an M365 E5, M365 E5 compliance, M365 E5 discovery audit, or Office 365 E5 license. And then finally, what we have as well is data connectors to E5, and that's to import and archive third-party data that's licensed per 500 gigs of data like Slack, Zoom, WhatsApp, anything third-party like that. And the prerequisite to that is any Microsoft 365 or Office 365 E5 plan. And then finally, we see Microsoft Viva. So Microsoft has recently introduced Microsoft Viva. It brings together communication, knowledge, learning, resources, and insight into an integrated experience. And that is available to be used through the Microsoft Teams app and also through other Microsoft 365 apps. So to start with, Viva will have these 4 modules that you see here, and Microsoft will be adding more modules in the future. So first here we have Connections, and that is a company branded employee apps in Teams. So it brings personalized views, personalized news, communication, task, people, and resources all in one place. That builds on existing capabilities within Microsoft 365 like SharePoint and Yammer, and it pulls all your communication together into one pre-configured apps in Teams. And that's also acting as a launching pad for the other 3 Viva modules we have here. So we have Insights, and Insights bring together workplace analytics, My Analytics, and Glyn to give you a unified insights application in Teams again to provide data-driven and privacy-protected insights for individuals, for managers, and for leaders. So for example, the employees will be able to see personalized insights only that they can see, and that would help them protect their time for breaks, give them focused work, learning, in order to promote improved productivity and well-being. We also have Topics. Topics focuses on knowledge and expertise. So Topics applies into artificial intelligence to identify knowledge and experts and organize them into shared topics. So the AI would automatically create the topic page for each topic, and then that surfaced into topic cards right in the flow of work of Office and Teams. And then finally, we have Learning, which allows employees to easily discover informal and formal learning in the flow of work. So it takes contents from LinkedIn Learning, from Microsoft Learn, and also from third-party training content that you might have in your own organization, all in one place. And it provides recommendations as well to allow managers to assign track training, report on training, all within and across teams. Viva Topics is available today. That's licensed per user with a Viva Topic add-on to most Office 365 and Microsoft 365 suites. The rest of the Viva family will be released in the near future.
Great, thanks, Fabian.
Thank you.
So just moving on to some a program update. As part of Microsoft's modern licensing and new commerce experience, they've announced the retirement of one of their oldest Microsoft licensing programs. It's the Open License program, which was a licensing program designed for small and medium-sized organizations to purchase perpetual licenses with or without software assurance. So the announcement basically, in short, is from the end of this calendar year, you'll no longer be able to buy licenses through the Open License program. Open Value and Open Value subscription still remain in place, and those programs, one is, or Open Value is a perpetual licensing program where software assurance is mandatory. Open Value subscription, as kind of the name suggests, is a non-perpetual licensing subscription licensing program, both of which are 3-year agreements. So if you're buying perpetual software without software assurance today and want to continue to doing so, to buy on-premises products, you can now buy through the Cloud Solution Provider or CSP program. If you're buying with software assurance, then any existing software assurance that you have through Open will continue to exist until its usual expiry date, so whenever the Open License Agreement itself expires, even beyond, obviously, the retirement date of December 21st. Like I said, Open Value is a program there that you can purchase through if you're looking to purchase with software assurance for a 3-year term. And Open Value subscription offers a kind of a lower entry or cost of license around for a 6-year time frame. Subscribing to licenses is typically a cheaper option there. If you're looking to purchase online services, then the recommendation is to purchase through the CSP program, as that's what the licensing agreement is designed for, and Bytes adding managed services around those purchases as well. But if you've got any existing online services through Open, then you can use any unused online service tokens, obviously up until they're redeemed within a 5-year time frame. Back in February, Microsoft announced that they plan to increase the price of their Enterprise Mobility and Security, or EMS E3, the suite, and also Intune from the 1st of July. So EMS E3 increasing from $9 per user per month to $11, and Intune from $6 to $8 per user per month, effective as of the 1st of July. So if you haven't already done so, you should look to price lock these 2 products or suites into your existing agreements. Obviously, if you intend to make use of these moving forwards. So you can do that by purchasing at least one of each product. So if you buy through CSP, you can do a price lock for 12 months. And if you're an enterprise agreement customer, then you can price lock up until the end of your agreement term. Like I say, before the 1st of July, when the prices go up, make sure you price lock to avoid the increased price for at least a 12-month time frame. So it's not all bad news. We have seen some price decreases. The reductions, as you can see on screen, are kind of more specific to Microsoft's frontline worker options, so F1 and F3. So as you can see on the slide, F3 is reduced by 20% and F1 by a 44% price reduction. So just moving on to some offers that Bytes and Microsoft have got in market. So these are really to help you, reduce costs of adopting the various Microsoft Cloud technologies. So first one to start on is the audio conferencing. So an audio conferencing subscription effectively allows participants to join a Microsoft Teams meeting by dialing in using a telephone number. If you've got a poor internet connection and you may not have the Teams app available on your phone, then you can dial in using a telephone. The host needs to have an audio conferencing subscription to enable the dial-in number. Now, Microsoft are offering you audio conferencing for free. So if you're an enterprise agreement customer, you can get audio conferencing for free until the end of your agreement term. And if you buy through CSP, then you can get it again for a 12-month period. It's available until the end of June, so it's worth signing up now, even if you're not immediately looking at audio conferencing. Get it into your tenant today. It's available only for new seats, so unfortunately you can't reduce paid for licenses and replace with free. Just bear that in mind. The M365 deployment vouchers is an offer to managed Microsoft customers, so where you've got a Microsoft account manager. So if you're purchasing more than 300 or more seats of Microsoft 365 E3 or E5, then you might be eligible to receive up to, well, it's effectively $10 per user or per license that you purchase. So again, it's available until the end of June. So if you're looking to make a purchase and adopt new Microsoft 365 services, then I would recommend doing that before the end of Microsoft's financial year, which is the end of June. Speak to your Microsoft account manager because they are the ones that issue the voucher code, and then you can use that to redeem with bytes for us to help you obviously deploy those technologies. If you're not a managed account with Microsoft, we can still help. So we have the Fast Track program available, and through Fast Track we can give you remote assistance in terms of how to deploy those technologies and kind of give you some guidance around the best practices. On the right-hand side, as you can see, these are your migration programs. So AMP is a program basically where we give you guidance and expert help using our Azure solution architects to basically help you with either a Azure migration, so data center to Azure, or a WVD implementation. So not only does the Azure migration program allow us to do that implementation on your behalf and give you all of the guidance and best practices, it also gives you some access to some technical training, and funding is available from Microsoft, again subject to eligibility criteria, but these Azure migration projects can be fully funded to help you move from on-premises to Azure. So a call to action there, if you are interested and you've got a data center to Azure migration planned for the near future or a WVD project, then get in touch with your Bytes account manager and arrange a call with one of our Azure solution architects. We have a direct routing proof of concept. So direct routing effectively allows you to use your existing telephony provider to make phone calls using Microsoft Teams. All you need to enable that is a phone system license, and then we can set up the direct routing in the background for you to use your existing telephony provider. So we've got a proof of concept offer, so we can get you up and running with a small proof of concept, so that you can go back to the business and help with that business justification. Call to action on that one is arrange a call with our Microsoft Unified Communications Specialist, and he will be able to take you through what that looks like and give you more detail. The middle one, so the Azure Foundation Quick Start. So this is I'm going to say a small proof of concept environment. So basically, we help you build out a landing zone in Azure using best practices. We'll look at giving you guidance and setup covering networking and VPN. We'll create a virtual machine, show you how to set up monitoring and alerting, and basically it leaves you with a platform for you then to build upon. So you can either use that as a proof of concept or obviously take it forwards into production. Likewise, the WVD Quick Start, if you're not ready for a full-on deployment yet through the Azure migration program, then the WVD Quick Start will give you a proof of concept environment where we'll set up some virtual desktops in Azure for you to, again, use as a proof of concept environment or to take forwards into production. The security posture assessment looks specifically at Microsoft 365 environment and your Office 365 tenant. It will go through a 50-point health check, looking at the configuration of the Microsoft services. So we know that Microsoft 365 E5 contains all the bells and whistles, including all of Microsoft's security products. However, if you've got Microsoft 365 E3 or maybe just Office 365 E3 or E1, there are some configurations that can be made to the settings to increase your security posture. So this check will go through and basically will give you some guidance and a written report at the end of it. Fast Track I've already covered, but effectively, if you've bought Microsoft 365, then you are eligible for the Microsoft Fast Track service. So speak to your Bytes account manager with regards to enrolling into Fast Track. It's a free of charge service where we will help you deploy any of the Microsoft 365 technologies. So there could be Microsoft Teams, Azure Information Protection, SharePoint Online, and so on. And then we've got the home use program. So Microsoft are offering an increased discount for the home use program. So you can, or your employees can sign up to purchase Microsoft 365 subscriptions for and receive a 50% discount. Now this is only available until the 16th of June. So if you are pushing out the home use program to your employees, then there is some collateral you can use to kind of promote that. The links are on the slides when we share those to you. As I said, there's the flyers you can see on screen are available for you to push out to your employees. I'll hand back to Fabian just to cover off some changes with regards to the software assurance of retirement.
Thank you. So Microsoft in the past year have announced that they would be making changes to software assurance benefits that are available to customers. So Microsoft's investing in new ways to help customers train, deploy, and receive support. So they're making the changes and have been making changes to these following benefits. So Microsoft are retiring deployment planning services days and training services days, and they're changing the way the SA support benefit works. So previously, you would have had a certain number of support instances based on your SA spend, and you'll now have an unlimited support instances, but that's based on a minimum of $250 of SA spend per year. So on the next slides, you'll be able to see key dates for the software assurance benefit changes. So as you can see on the dates here, as of today, only existing customers whose agreement started prior to February 2021 will have access to DPS days and training vouchers. So if your agreement started after February 2021, these DPS days and training vouchers are no longer available. But if your agreement started prior to February 2021, you have these benefits available to you. The only difference is that purchasing additional licenses will not provide you with additional benefits. Now, a couple of important dates to bear in mind for these will be June 30th, 2021. That's the last days that you have to assign days and vouchers to partners, and they can be used until December 2021. The 24/7 problem resolution support benefit will be retired in February 2022. And so next slide is just a reminder that if you do have planning services days or training days, which you can check with your Bytes account manager, just make sure that these days are allocated prior to June 30th.
Right, thank you. And just to add on that, we work with a best of breed partner ecosystem. So if you've got outstanding deployment planning services, typically they are used to deploy on-premises software, and hence the reason they're being retired is because offers like Fast Track are available and the M365 deployment vouchers. But they can also be used, the DPS days can be used for kind of hybrid configurations. So if you are looking at adopting cloud technologies whilst kind of maintaining an on-premises infrastructure as well, do speak to your Bytes account manager. We can obviously help engage a partner along with you to make use of those vouchers. And likewise, the training vouchers, we have a learning services team available to act as a broker. So if you're looking for specific training or to use those training vouchers, then engage with our learning services team and we can help you find the right courses. I'll just touch quickly on some workshops that we've got available. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them just in the interest of time and boring you to tears. But we have a number of different workshops. So we have what we call the Velocity workshops. These are designed to give you an introduction or quite an in-depth introduction to the Microsoft technologies. So they're available along with our the quick starts. So the quick start engagements are more of the kind of proof of concept and the building the initial environment. So again, Velocity Workshop is the intro, quick start as the next step in terms of building out the technologies. From then, we've got various different managed services, which I'm not going to talk about today. But if you look at the Bytes website, you'll see the various different various different managed services that we've got available. So in terms of Microsoft Modern Workplace and Velocity workshops, we've got everything to cover Microsoft Teams, from kind of the entry level, just exploring the PBX capabilities of Microsoft Teams. Through to a full-on calling workshops. We've also got meetings and meeting rooms and apps and solutions. So cover end-to-end everything that you could possibly want from Microsoft Teams. Also, we've got 4 different security workshops available. One of which is also a Sentinel workshop to go along with our Sentinel managed offering. In terms of remote working, we've got a secure work from anywhere, and we've got the WVD workshop and the quick start that I mentioned earlier on. And then on the kind of Azure and data analytics and Power Platform, we've got everything available from dashboard in a day through to creating an app in a day using Microsoft Power Apps. So all of these workshops are available. Most of which can be funded through Microsoft. So we just need to submit a request to Microsoft. If you're an eligible customer, then they'll obviously accept that, and then funding will be available to pay for these workshops. If not, it is potentially something that Bytes can fund if you're interested in moving forwards with these technologies. So again, speak to your your Bytes account manager, and we can explore any of these workshops you might be interested in. So that's it in terms of the content. I'm just going to have a look to see if there are any questions.